Lue Elizondo is the man on everyone's lips at the minute in the UFO community because obviously his brand new book, Imminent, just dropped and it was still is a #1 bestseller over on Amazon, which is, a very credible source when it comes to this kind of thing. Lue Elizondo's Inside the Pentagon's Hunt for UFOs, Imminent. His book from Lue Elizondo, a former head of Department of Defense and Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. He's a very credible source and very good at what he does with whistleblowing. He's been doing it for a very long time, but now he's being taken incredibly serious, especially after this book has dropped. So as we can see here, it is in the Amazon charts. It is #1 this week. It's had 190 ratings. It's got a 4.7 stars. 82% of the ratings are 5-star, 10% are 4-star, 4% are 3-star, and 4% are 1-star. Now, this book has also been called the instant #1 Sunday Times bestseller, the book everybody's talking about. What I can say without fear of contradiction that Lue has played a central and indispensable role in forever changing the way humanity views the issue of unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAP. Chris Mellon, former Deputy Assistant of Secretary of Defense Intelligence and former Ministry Staff Director of the Senate Intelligence Committee. So, this is being dubbed as one of the greatest UFO whistleblowing books in history. There's been a lot of them, and a lot of whistleblowers have come forth, but this one is what's getting the world talking. And as a just a quick overview of what this is about, it is a groundbreaking memoir from Lue Elizondo and former head of Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, revealing what is really known about the world governments about UFOs and UAP. Now, what's important to know about this book before we go any further and just check out some more segments about this that Lue's gone on to talk about is, the Pentagon had to greenlight things that came out in this book. So that means that yes, this is blowing the whistle officially and formally. And yes, there is a lot of hard truths in this that people haven't heard before. But at the same time, this had to go through a vetting process from the Pentagon, and the Pentagon had to approve what was put in there. There are a lot of things that Lue has come out and said that he can't and still wasn't able to put into the book because the Pentagon basically vetoed it and said, nope, that's not going in there. You can't have it. Which really sucks. I'm not going to lie, it sucks balls. But obviously, he did a special interview with Ross Coulthart, this News Nation special correspondent. And News Nation are absolutely rinsing this for all that it's worth. And fair play to them, because I would be doing exactly the same thing. And today we're going to take a look at a little snippet that says, Pentagon is to muzzle truth surrounding UAPs, Ross Coulthart, Morning in America. Let's take a look at what they've got to say about this.
All right, well, whistleblowers like David Grush and Lue Elizondo are attempting to prove aliens exist beyond a shadow of a doubt by going public with what they know about UFOs. News Nation special correspondent Ross Coulthart has interviewed both, revealing alleged shocking government cover-ups, including a non-human crash retrieval program.
I'm not being funny, right? But after interviewing Lue Elizondo and David Grush, and being the person that kind of literally gave the platform to David Grush to whistleblow, Ross Coulthart and News Nation have to be cemented as some of the greatest UFO, sources of information, surely.
This week, he expands on that conversation with former State Department analyst Marieke van Rennenkampf. The link to that episode available by scanning the QR code on your screens. And joining me now is News Nation special correspondent Ross Coulthart. Ross, good morning to you. Let's first listen to part of what that former State Department analyst said about what people report when they allegedly see UFOs.
And I will add that one of the most common phenomena that was reported, and I assume still is, and if we read between the lines of a lot of what the Pentagon is released in terms of pilot reports, that round spherical objects, sometimes multicolored, usually red at night or metallic during the day, and you know this, Ross, right? We've covered this. That is one of the most commonly reported phenomena.
How do his claims compare to ones that you've heard before?
His claims are absolutely spot on. Firstly, good morning. What he's basically saying is what the Office of the Director of National Intelligence said back in 2021, that UAPs are real, that they display phenomena, characteristics that we can't explain with known human technology. They do things that we just can't do with our science. And they appear to be intelligently controlled. And as Marek said there, a lot of this phenomena is orbs, spherical orbs, sometimes glowing plasma, sometimes metallic. But
there was actually a photo that was circulating around the internet about 2 months ago, I want to say, of someone in Australia who went out into their garden one morning and just found this chrome sphere, like just hovering, just hovering. I'll see if I can find it and I'll link it down in the description if I can. But it was just hovering there, and it was just this chrome sphere, and it just made no noise. It wasn't doing anything. And then they went to get their phone to they managed to like snap a picture of it, and then they went to make a phone call to like basically tell people about it. And then when she went back to it, gone, just disappeared. No noise from it. It was crazy.
The disturbing thing is that they're showing themselves over military facilities. And right back in 2021, people have forgotten their history. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence published an absolutely groundbreaking report that reversed 50, 60 years of denials, and the Pentagon finally admitted that UAPs are real, that they're inexplicable, and that they should be investigated, and that they are a national security concern.
Which is so weird, because now they're looking at this again, and people are like, remember when you said this? And they're like, nah, we don't remember that, and now we are not going to investigate it any further because we've got no proof of anything, even though they admitted that UAP are real. And it's just like, you know, pick a lane and stick in it, because right now you're sending a lot of mixed signals.
And a public safety threat. So this is a real front page agenda issue now. You've got the Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, pushing legislation in the House to try and get through accountability provisions. And he has actually said that multiple credible sources have alleged that elements of the government have illegally withheld UFO-related information from Congress. It doesn't get much more serious than that.
We also chatted with another whistleblower that you have spoken with as well, Lue Elizondo. We talked to him earlier this week, a longtime Defense Department researcher. You sat down with him for an exclusive interview here on News Nation, where he claimed that UFOs are real. He sort of took us into what the Pentagon has been looking into. How has that conversation been received?
Well, obviously, you still have a really interesting situation in the US where you've got the Pentagon dogmatically denying that there is any issue here. They're trying to bury it as quickly as possible. But conspicuously, the Director of National Intelligence, who is the intelligence czar created after 9/11 to oversee the intelligence community, they're not saying that. They're not letting the Pentagon get away with it. They're actually saying, yes, these things are real. It's no longer a claim that UAPs are real. They're real. And the Director of National Intelligence admits it.
Thank God someone's holding these guys accountable, because, my lord, they will just run with anything at this point.
So you have a problem at the moment that the UFO Investigation Office, ARRO, is within the Pentagon.
Yeah.
And there are people in the intelligence and defense community who are trying to muzzle the issue. They're trying to stop you, the public, from knowing what's really going on. And when you've got people like Senator Chuck Schumer, one of the most powerful people in the Congress, saying that multiple credible sources have alleged that the government is concealing evidence of a UAP retrieval and reverse engineering program, at what point does the American public make this an election issue and say, look, we want answers, we want this investigated?
Thanks for...
And that's a very interesting point there, because a lot of people are now coming forward saying, at what point do the people who want the answers use that as leverage for their vote? And I don't know if the topic is that... I mean, the topic's huge, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it's that huge. What do you guys think, though? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. I mean, I've got my own griefs with Arrow. Like, they are literally the Pentagon's bitch to the point where they have nothing, really. They have nothing. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to jump scare the hell out of that like button. And until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.